This review is brought to you by Netflix. Today I get to review Rain, which is a game that has been in development for almost 4 years now, and from what I understand, it's gone through quite a few changes during that time. This is being developed by PlayStation Camp, the studio responsible for Tokyo Jungle, and the best way that I can describe Rain is to say that it's basically the exact opposite of Tokyo Jungle. Rain is one of those games that immediately captures your attention the moment you pick it up. Its quiet, introspective nature is evocative of a growing collection of recent PlayStation titles whose primary goal is to establish an emotional connection with the player. It's no easy task, but PlayStation Camp seems determined to prove themselves capable of it. Whether or not they succeeded is a matter of opinion, but one thing is for certain, they clearly tried very hard. Set in a mysterious abandoned city that's perpetually raining, Rain follows the story of a nameless young boy who one day stumbles upon an invisible girl. Upon seeing her, he too becomes invisible and begins following her, only to realize that she's being hunted by a slew of invisible monsters. Eventually, they meet and evade the creatures together on a journey to return to their once tangible form. In many ways, Rain bears an obvious resemblance to classic PlayStation titles like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. The feeling of isolation in a world populated by vast, sprawling set pieces is paired with a minimalistic art style reflective of the game's mysterious nature. Consistent with that is a story completely devoid of dialogue and instead told through text superimposed onto the game's environments. Cutscenes are replaced with watercolor paintings, and forlorn music graces every pivotal moment, with the timeless Clair de Lune acting as the main theme song. Everything about Rain is designed to make it feel like the dark, brooding cousin of a children's storybook, and for the most part, it's done extremely well. The world is believably grim, and the relationship that blossoms between the boy and the girl is extremely moving, even without dialogue. It's disappointing then that, for as minimal as the narrative is, the writing that is there borders dangerously into pretentious territory. For a game so insistent on having players experience it rather than hear it, there's entirely too much hand-holding, and the majority of it is nothing more than histrionic prose, injected into scenes that would have had more emotional impact without it. On the topic of pretentious writing, I am reminded of another PlayStation game I reviewed relatively recently called The Unfinished Swan, which I really enjoyed, but my main problem with it was that much like Rain, it tried so hard to make itself appear meaningful and deep that it ended up overshadowing any real depth and instead just came across as pompous and overbearing. And that is why, in games like The Unfinished Swan and Shadow of the Colossus and Rain especially, it is so important to have a unique gameplay mechanic to fall back on. As the title suggests, Rain plays a very crucial role in this game. Standing in it is the easiest way for your character to be spotted by monsters, so you'll have to use the environments to your advantage, hiding underneath awnings and climbing on top of large objects to avoid being seen. Sometimes you can't avoid being detected, and escaping these scenarios requires deft coordination and platforming, often with the assistance of your female companion. Thankfully, she's autonomous, so the game doesn't force you to babysit her, although mutual cooperation is necessary to advancing. Intertwined with the platforming sequences are simple puzzles which, again, would have provided much more of a challenge if the game didn't insist on holding your hand so much. There are some other gameplay elements thrown in, like friendly monsters you can hide underneath and tiny critters you can use to distract and kill the dangerous enemies, but neither is used more than once or twice, and none feel as fully explored as they could be. For a game that's only around 3 to 4 hours, I would have liked to have seen more emphasis on these unique mechanics rather than the more basic platforming that seems to dominate most of the experience. That general lack of awareness and unwillingness to exploit its own strengths is probably Rain's biggest downfall. This is a game that has clearly gone through several transitions, and aspects of it feel indecisive because of that. The story is heartfelt, but the writing is pretentious. The puzzles are fun, but exceedingly simple, and the mechanics, as unique as they may be, simply aren't utilized to their full potential. It's hard to say what kind of audience this game would even appeal to. The storybook presentation and straightforward gameplay seem more suited for children, but the deeper nuances of the story would be better appreciated by adults. How much you enjoy it will largely depend on your expectations, but at the very least, PlayStation Camp deserves accolades for their willingness to branch out and create an innovative and artistically adventurous experience. It's not as remarkable as it could have been, but if you're in the market for a thought-provoking game, then Reign may have you covered. I give it a 3 out of 5. If you're looking for a better way to consume entertainment, then why not give Netflix a shot? With Netflix, all of your favorite TV episodes and movies can be streamed right to your home, saving you time, money, and the hassle of dealing with a cable company. All you need to get started is an internet connection and a Netflix-enabled device like a PC or Mac, a smartphone, or a current-gen video game console. For a limited time, you can grab a free trial membership and support Rev3 Games in the process. Just visit netflix.com/rev3games and sign up. So that is my review of Reign. I just want to echo again how amazing the soundtrack to this game is. I mentioned that Clair de Lune was the theme song, but they actually have a rendition of it after the credits with vocals done by 12-year-old Connie Talbot, who was a runner-up on Britain's Got Talent a few years ago and is just amazingly talented. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Like I said, the game is out on PS3 exclusively October 1st. It's going to be priced at $14.99, so if you pick it up, do let us know what you think.